complaint and breach of contract brought forward by Ms. Manning. I had the opportunity to talk with Carol this afternoon, and Carol had come up with some ideas which would include helping Thomas White. Would you like to explain it to everybody, please?
Oh, sure. We're just going to jump right to that. I have several positions that we're going to be listing this summer. Many of them are coming out of Title I and 31A, but one position came up that I thought might be of interest to Ms. Manning, and that's PBIS interventionist for Thomas White. And don't even have the job description written up yet, but it is a position that is, Thomas White, little Thomas White, I love that building. K1, and it's an administrative type position, but I can't call it administrator because we're not paying for it out of general fund. But it would be a person that would be an interventionist, but they'd also be responsible for working with the staff to do the school improvement plan, and then just kind of holding down the fort in terms of discipline, which is pretty minor at Thomas White, and assisting Ms. Duran in being another set of eyes and ears for the building. And we purposely, and this is not something I just created, it's actually been up on my board in my room for about a couple of weeks when the administrators start talking about needs for next year. We're looking for someone who's administratively certified to do that, in addition to having the academic certification. So it hasn't been posted yet, but the plan is for it to be posted, well, once it's approved on here. And this is a position that will be Title I funded.
Is that position, Ms. Selby, is that she going to be?
BEA?
No, helping with the priority plan.
Well, not really, because
No.
Thomas White is not
Oh, no, it's
a
not
priority school.
Right.
It's a Title I school, but it's, no, so this person would not be helping with the priority plan. They would just be helping to run Thomas White. And they would work with some children to do an intervention. But mainly, I mean, my vision is for this person to probably set up office right there where Ms. Duran usually is, or they actually might want a bigger room, a classroom type, so they can do a combination of being the eyes and ears of the building, in addition to working with kids too, some kind of lab. But it is a BEA position.
And we'll be spending a good portion of their time helping academically?
Yes, helping students academic. Thomas White is not a building that has major discipline problems, so
No,
this
and I know
person will
that.
not be doing a whole lot of discipline. They'll be mainly, again, eyes and ears for the building and working with children. And that is something that we have in our plans, and it wouldn't be taxing the general budget. It would be in the Title I budget.
One thing I shared with Carol, that we have already submitted the deficit elimination plan to the state, and we have already determined what's coming out of that risk for both the middle school and the high school, which are really where the at-risk dollars are supposed to be. And we probably have maxed out most of those dollars, because one of the concerns that the middle school had is that PBI people to help them in running that building. And Steve Baker's, of course, he would like assistant principal. And I know, Marty, we talked about that, but we know we can't afford it. So that would be coming close. So that's why I told Carol, whatever positions we create now must be funded. Because I see, I don't know if anybody else sees it, but I see us getting out of the debt. So
I see it's getting out of
Okay.
there. And as much as possible, I would like to use grant funds to meet the needs that we have in the district. And I'm hoping that this might be a position that Ms. Manning might be interested in, especially since we're looking for someone that's going to be administratively certified.
And that's the same rate of pay she's making right now, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that wouldn't change. That wouldn't change.
Do we ask her if she'll take, it,
Well,
or if she's interested?
Well, we'll make a recommendation
And,
all right with you?
And then we have to send it to the full board,
Okay.
well,
I think.
so this is a position that I'm gonna have to post, but you know, I'm the one that does the hiring. So you understand?
Right.
So this is just one of, you have.
So are you looking
Right.
for a recommendation, Ms.
I'm
Sullivan, to post
For
this?
the
Yes.
position you're looking
Yes,
for.
I'm looking for
the
recommendations, and then of course, Ms. Manning is welcome to apply for that position, if she is so interested. I think she'd be a good fit for the building. It's a quiet, pretty quiet building. I mean, the children, like all children, have academic needs, and we want to get them ready for when they go over to Atkins. But it would be like a combination. And, you know, we have a big PBIS initiative in the district now, not just at Atkins, but Thomas White, the middle school and the high school. And so we need somebody else over there to kind of hold down the fort. But it would not be, in case Ms. Manning or anybody else is wondering, it's not a position where we have a room that we send troubled children to. That's not what this position is going to be doing. So.
And Ms. Selby, do you see any issues with the BEA reference this?
Probably not, because it is going to be a BEA position, and that was our intent in the first place, that it would be a BEA. In fact, there's a similar position over at Atkins Elementary. It's not called PBIS, but similar type position.
Okay.
Do you need a recommendation from this committee?
Well,
We'll recommend
well,
it.
so if you're going to do that, can you just look at this whole list?
You want
then?
to do this one first?
Can we do, since we just jump right in there?
Well, I was excited after I talked to you.
Oh, okay.
C should say middle school.
In fact, I called Jay and told him how excited I was.
Oh, okay.
C should say middle school.
Yeah, it's, C, two PBIS consultants at the middle school, but you know, once they're at Atkins Middle School, if they see something that an elementary student needs.
Yeah, it's
help
gonna
with,
be a
they would-
split.
yeah.
Right.
And Cozy Smith currently holds one of these positions, and he hasn't resigned, but because he's retired, he won't.
He can't come back till February. And Steve said he needs somebody in there like.
And you know, February, most of the year will be gone.
You need somebody that you have year round.
Yeah, that's.
Yes,
That's
yeah.
what he wants.
And we've already talked to one person that has a law enforcement background who is interested in the position and also has a strong connection to kids in the community. But we're gonna do this the right way. And positions. So there's
Jay
two.
arresting me as I walk out.
Right.
Why
And
not?
these are,
Have fun down there.
and so these are two positions to be posted for Atkins, and they would be funded again with grant money, 31A.
Well, let me just address that. The reason that I asked for that to be posted is because I didn't want to sit here as a board member and give any impression to anyone of the district or employees that we weren't fairly searching for candidates for any positions in the
Sure.
school district. So
That's very-
that's why I requested that it be posted for everybody to
Makes sense.
apply. And then we will take the best candidate for the job.
That makes sense. And oversight, this will probably make you a little crazy. Jay, yet another contract, this is one of those yearly contracts that I forgot we had, but Gabe Rodriguez, who's a PBIS interventionist here at the high school, his position needs to be renewed. And then Kula Legner is one of the, I think it was 4 or 5 persons that were interviewed to fill the position as executive secretary to replace Pat Byer, who's retiring. And the superintendent or interim superintendent would like to recommend, this is the only one that I'm recommending for hire, these others are renew or posting. She has a lot of the experience that Pat already has, the Skyward experience and spreadsheet, and so she can kind of hit the door running. If she's retired. not retired, she's a laid off secretary from Saginaw Public Schools. She's been subbing for us for a while. I think mainly at Thomas White. So she already has she knows the district and she knows a lot of people in the district. The other candidates were very good, but she was the strongest in terms of being one where we wouldn't have to do a whole lot of training, but we would like this person to get started sometime after the holiday, because they're going to need a good month with Pat just to make sure that Pat teaches her everything that she knows. Not really how to do a spreadsheet or anything, but Pat's job, her job description is pretty comprehensive. She does about 20, 30 different things, and I'm confident that Kula will be able to pick up the ball and run with it, but she's going to need a little time with Pat. So those are the recommendations that I have for posting for PBIS consultants, one PBIS interventionist at Thomas White, and then Gabe Rodriguez renewal and Kula Legner and Hyder.
What about the other PBIS? Has their contracts all been brought up? Shouldn't they all be renewed right now?
Consultants or
No,
even
like
interventionists?
those other guys that are doing it.
Oh,
Yeah, you know,
Shador
they,
and,
no,
No, like the Marshall and all them.
Yeah,
okay, those.
you know, and so
So
they
all
don't,
those people have to be,
to be very honest, I'm not sure how that's done. They don't have these kind of,
Right.
they
came
well, they were
through
PCM,
PCMI.
PCMI.
They came through.
oh, they come through that other
Yes.
company? Oh, okay.
Which saves us
A ton of
money.
Oh, all right. I didn't know
I
that Gabe
forgot
did.
what
I
she
thought they
said.
all went through the same thing. That's why I wondered.
No,
Oh,
and
okay.
I forgot till just now that they.
Oh, all right.
PCMI.
That explains it.
Yes,
So Gabe Rodriguez, as far as you know, is the only one who needs renewal?
you know, as far as I know,
Okay.
Yes.
And then does that just require my signature and Mr. Lang's signature?
Yes, and that just came to me today, so I haven't even typed up, and you know, I don't have the secretary right now, so I didn't even type up the contract, but I'll have it for you next couple of days.
See, that will have to go to the full board too.
Huh?
Gabe Rodriguez's renewal will have to go to the full board,
So maybe we'll have.
but I have no problem sending it there.
So maybe by that time we'll have names for all of them.
He's here.
So we can do it at one time, 'cause we don't meet again till the 10th, right?
Well, there's a special board meeting the 20th.
Right, no, after the 20th, we don't meet anymore till the 10th.
Oh, right.
Okay.
So you can get that to the full board, Carol, Gabe Rodriguez's contract.
I sat in on the interviews for the executive assistant, and Kula would be my choice based upon the interview.
I didn't know you said in, did you?
No.
And I didn't sit on any interviews,
Well, it's not you.
but I'll tell you what I've heard. That there was internal people applied for this job also.
Yes.
I don't know how many.
Well, there were 3, and then one pulled out at the last minute. And then there's one who is a long-term aide sub, I think.
And I haven't seen anybody's credentials or resumes. But my only point is, we're bringing another city person in here and giving them a job at the city of Saginaw. And we have quite a few city people that work here in this district.
Well,
And I will, and let me finish, and I will trust Mr. Allen's recommendation and yours, because I wasn't involved in that process. But I'm just gonna voice a concern about that. And I'm gonna put, like I said, I'm gonna put my trust in you that you
Yes.
feel you're making the right decision.
yeah, I think she would be right for the job. There were other good candidates. They all had their strong points. But this is the one that had many of the skills that we would need them to have right now.
Can I get you to expound a bit on what your concern is?
The concern has been that people have come to me employees that here we go, we're bringing another city person in here from the city of Saginaw to work in our school district. That's the concern that was voiced to me. And I'm just telling you what was told to me.
Okay.
That's all.
I
But
think-
like I said, I'm gonna put my trust in your decision, and that you're picking the right person for the job. But I just wanna make sure that everybody's getting fair shake.
Well, I didn't know any of the candidates. I'd only seen one of them, the lady from Athens. I'd seen her before. I guess I can understand someone voicing that, but at the same time, I don't hear anyone saying anything when we get students from the city saying. That's another.
I've never heard that either.
Yeah, that's another open so.
But,
That's a
you
good
know, I have no
point.
problem sending that to the,
And can
Well,
I
we
just
have it in
kind
the past, so when we opened up school of choice, we heard it big time.
well, whatever we heard, a student is a student is a student. But just to piggyback on Pastor Allen, I think it's a little unfair to label someone a city person just because they worked for the city of Saginaw. You know, I worked for the city of Saginaw. I also worked for Bridgeport. Now, using that same line of thinking, when I went,
what do you want me to label them as?
well,
I'll call them whatever you want me to call them.
but here's my point. When I went and I started my career here in Bridgeport, was here for about 10 years, left and went to Saginaw. Now, using that same line of thinking, someone in Saginaw could have said, well, they're a Bridgeport person, why would I hire a Bridgeport person?
Yeah, but where did you come from when we got you?
What, I came from Delta College. I was at Delta College.
We were laid off from the city of Saginaw when Tom hired you.
She was talking about originally, she
No.
started out here.
No, I'm talking, I originally started.
Well,
here.
I'm talking about when she come here
No, when
just
Tom
last
hired
year.
me, I had been hired as principal of Chester Mill Elementary.
The what?
Principal of Chester Mill Elementary, which is on Broadway. But I understand, and some people in the district, I know, have some strong feelings about that, but I just want to voice my opinion.
I'm just expressing the concern that was brought to me as an elected official of the
Sure.
school board, that's all. But I can support this decision to send it to the full board. We good with that?
I'm good.
Now, my only question about who, well, we don't have another full board meeting until the 20th. We would love her to start sometime sooner than that. So she can have a good month with Pat.
Well, Pat can come back for a few days to help her. That was put in the budget.
Well, I would think she would need some training. but
Yeah,
hey,
she's gonna have to come back
Oh,
on
yeah, I would
third.
think for sure.
She's gonna have to come back for the count anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's important to us, so
Yeah.
she can come back. We've already put that in the budget.
Okay.
yeah, so I
We
don't-
had to make
I
room
wouldn't
for
have a
that,
problem with that.
because that's our count, that's how we.
Are
do
you
the
good,
budget.
Carol?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, Miss Sylvie's contract.
And Ms. Sageman, I talked to you, and I talked to Jay on the phone today too. I've resubmitted Ms. Sylvie's contract and sent it back to the original salary that she was brought in as, and there's really no mention of her doing extra Title I duties and no compensation. So it's the original contract.
This is the one she had last year.
Yes. And so the only difference on here is renewed for a year at the same, right, because the board had a problem with the additional compensation.
Huh?
It's the same. I'm good.
Okay. So, and if,
Reverend, are you okay with Ms. Sylvie's contract? Marty, you
Yeah.
good? We'll send that to the full board for approval.
okay, so we have to send that back to the full board and.
Well,
or-
Well, actually, we extended it for
Wasn't
60
the action, we
days.
extended it for 60 days, but I mean,
So-
if we can have an answer the 20th,
Okay.
we'll put it to rest the 20th.
Okay. And then the same, I'm sorry, Marty, this is your meeting.
Go ahead.
The other two contracts in here are mine, and I went back to the one pager for me for acting superintendent. Are there two in there? And the Title I, and then the Title I salary is at a point five.
Is it a .5?
Well,
.5.
it's-
.5, and the superintendent was .5 too?
Your
Wow.
superintendent contract,
It's the same.
It looked at it, it's the same.
Yes.
We'll just
Uh-huh.
change the dates.
Okay.
Yes, yes, and the dates
That's
are,
what's been getting asked for, and I
And the
don't see
dates
a
have been
problem with
changed.
doing that. All we gotta do is change the dates, the exact
and the
same
change,
contract.
dates have been changed on here. And,
That's it.
We're gonna post the PBIS consultant, number
Correct.
5.
Correct.
Yes.
And we'll have names for you on the
Is there any other business?
no, but, and that other number 5 on your, we're just kind of tabling that.
Yeah, we're just gonna post the position and see who applies.
I mean, we have his resume, so we'll see who
Yeah.
else applies.
That's easy enough.
We need to make sure that we post noontime at Atkins. That is,
You know,
something needs to be done.
and it's been posted those positions have been posted a couple of times this year. I don't know what we have to do to get people more interested in being noontime.
Mr. Rhines, you need a job?
Helpers.
I think our
I have 2 full-time jobs, plus I own.
We're gonna have to take him to the
parents,
full board.
grandparents, and students.
I just hired you, I forgot.
Just
Got
hired
you
him on
on
the
board.
It's a
spot.
full-time job just keeping you guys in check.
Yeah. We're
We,
good.
Mr. Rand ended the year, maybe the last month, where she had several parent volunteers that did come in and help during the lunch hour. And that's wonderful. That's what, but we really need,
Can they, does PCBI, whatever, or PC, whatever that is, do they hire those noontime aides, or can they advertise
No,
for it?
They are part of the steelworkers.
Yeah.
well,
That's the problem, because
Yeah,
what
that's
The
they'll-
noontime supervisors
Right, so
are?
they'll get more time at the high school, and they'll like it for a little bit, and then they get more time at the high school, and they'll shift.
Well, and see, and that's the problem with that contract, is because
If we
they'll
could take
be,
them
they'll
out of
be,
there, that would
I know,
help us.
they'll come in for the noon thing, but then they hear
Yeah.
that there's an aide position all day long, so they don't take the lunch hour, they go hop on the other job instead, and that's what leaves them short all the time.
I believe
We're making more
that
money.
because Atkins is a priority school, that's one of those things that in the priority plan and the law governing the priority schools that we can circumvent around, at least until they're out of priority. Until they're out of priority, that they don't have to be in the still work. We're operating on an MOU right now, where
Yeah,
the
still-
people that we bring in for those lunch aides are not still workers. For that very reason, they're so disruptive. Ms. Duran would start the day not knowing how many people she'd have, but she'd have people that come, and like you said, they'd hear about another position, and they'd be gone. All of a sudden, she had no lunch aides.
Well, they're following the money.
Yes,
You
and
know,
it caused
I mean-
quite a havoc.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there any way you could talk with the steel workers and let them know the problems we're having, and could they change that?
Okay.
Well, yes, that's,
We'll make a
we'll work on
report
that.
to do
That's my plan to work on, especially since,
I'll gladly come with you.
I got the message, okay.
All
I-
right.
okay, I'll
Okay,
hold you
when you
to
set
that.
it up, we'll come.
They made it loud
Yeah, I
and
think they
clear.
would probably, yeah, they have to know.
It was a problem. It was a major problem. And I don't want next year to start
The way this.
the way this year did over at Atkins, where, I mean, it was a new principal, and people just kind of didn't know what they were supposed to be doing, and then the lunch aides are coming and going, and Mr. Rand certainly wasn't used to that, and it just caused a big problem.
Well, it's taken away from the goal. The
Absolutely.
goal is to educate, and you have all those disruptions going on in the school. I've been over there, I've seen it, so I know what's going on over there. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Sure.
Seen it, so whatever we need to do, we gotta get it stopped.
There were some days when Miss Sylvia and I went over there, and that was lunch, but that's certainly not my job to do,
Yeah.
but, you know,
Right.
you do what you have to do.
Yeah, are we good?
Okay, is there any other? If not, we're adjourned.